We're good to go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's
Tonight.
ev- oh tonight's event. Hold on, got to spotlight myself. There we go. Pin. Welcome to tonight's State of the Avery. So it's our State of the Avery virtual town hall, the first one for 2022. And it's our first major engagement with our community. So we're very excited to have you all here this evening. At any point, we would encourage you, if you are joining us here on YouTube, if you're joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. But if you're joining us via Zoom, you're more than welcome to put questions into the chat throughout the presentation, throughout tonight's conversation. It's really more of a conversation um, with the Avery Research Center's team. My name is Dr. Tamara Butler, and I am the Executive Director for the Avery Research Center for African American History and Culture. I don't have much to say today except thank you. First, I want to thank everyone who's here. Big shout out to all of the team members whose faces you may or may not see this evening. So we have Courtney Hicks, who is behind the scenes, our outreach and public programming coordinator. Lee Calhoun, also coordinator, facilities manager, RSJI, manager, you name it, they got the titles. Aisha Heichel, who is our manager of library services, Erica Veal, who is our project archivist, Miss Georgette Mayo, who is our processing archivist as well, and then Savannah Fryerson, who is our office manager, is also part of our team. So I just want to say a big shout out to the Avery team. I also want to say thank you to all of our supporters who are here tonight, new and returning. Thank you for your long-standing support. Big shout out to the Avery Institute board and its members. If you are not familiar with Avery Institute and you're interested in being a supporter, kind of a formal supporter of the Avery Research Center, then I would encourage you to check out the Avery Institute's website and learn more about them and consider a membership as we're approaching the month of February. Sometimes the best place to place your dollars during Black History Month is in your Black institutions. And before we get to Black History Month, of course, we know that we do Black History 365 days of the year. We have January 27th is a big day for the College of Charleston. It is our CFC day. So if you're here, if you have a friend, if you have some spare change lying around, and we prefer the kind that folds, we'll take the kind that jingles. Especially now that Maya Angelou's on one of them. Anyway, that's a whole new story. So what I would encourage you to do is consider donating to the College Charleston libraries. Consider thinking about your funding towards the Avery Research Center, the Director Excellence Fund, which I really usually put that funding towards programming, supporting arts faculty and staff, really thinking about how we can continue to grow Avery and its work here in the community. So those are my that's my spiel. I also wanted to thank, well, I would be remiss without saying this. I want to thank folks who have been reaching out, whether you've seen me on the streets and you recognize me with my mask on, or if you have reached out via phone or email just to offer your support or suggestions, input, thoughts. Um, I really appreciate it. Our team appreciates it. We also appreciate your feedback and your patience with us. As you'll hear tonight, you'll get some updates on the building. You'll hear a great deal about what we've been doing with our grants and collections, as well as our programming. So I ask that you be patient with us. Keep your masks on. If you're not vaccinated and you have the ability to be, please take advantage of a vaccine. We want to try to stop Flurona and Delta Cron and whatever else that's out there. We want to try to bring an end to it so that we can open our doors safely and really invite people back in to take some tours, to see the space. You'll see that we're broadcasting live at some point from the space. So without further ado, I hope that you have something great to drink. Preferably you're drinking water if you have the heat up, and that you'll sit back and just take some notes, ask questions, and stay tuned. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Aisha Heichel.
Thank you, Dr. Butler, for that wonderful introduction. And I will be talking to you all about some updates on the archival and interpretation side of Avery. And so I'll let you know that we are busy processing collections. We have a couple of graduate students that are working with us this academic year, and one of them has been working on processing collections, and two of them are available through the inventory of them through the SD's Bridge Club, which is a club, a social club that composed of women in the Charleston area that got together to do bridge and talk about social and cultural issues in Charleston and in the world. So we're glad to have that process available for researchers. The other collection that we processed is the Thomas Carr collection. You may know that the Carr family is a famous family here in Maryville. And so he is the son of Mary Carr that helped to establish Maryville. And so he also was a doctor. And so we're pleased to process his collection. And so we have that inventory on our finding aids, which is also in the archive space. So we're able to look at that today. People often ask us, how do you do research with Avery? And so we have a couple of ways to gain access. So we have remote access, and that would be having a phone call, email, or doing a Zoom consultation with our archival staff. And we'll talk to you about your research interests, and we'll try to see where collections would be best fit for your research area. We can also have in-person appointments, and that is done after your virtual consultation with our archival staff member. And in that, we'll bring the materials down to you, and you'll be able to access the materials in our reading room at 125 Bull Street. So we're open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 and 1:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. And so we have been busy over the past semester, seeing researchers from all over even with Corona, we've had out of state folk. They also had people in Charleston, and then also working with students at the College of Charleston. So we, really are reaching out to our stakeholders, and we are glad to support the research endeavors. We also have digital collections. So if we encourage you to review our online materials that are available on the Low Country Digital Library, also known as LCDL. And that over the past 10 years, we've already digitized a lot of our materials from different collections. And so we really encourage folk to review that, use it in your classes, use it in K-12 education, or just for personal research. And that is a way to stay engaged with your history, even if we can't come in the building. And then over the past, we were grateful and had opportunity to apply and receive funding from different institutions over the past year and a half. One of them is through the Gaylord and Dorothy Donnelly Foundation, and we were able to start a project called Documenting the Arc, and that is an oral history initiative for Avery, where we are doing oral histories with activists who were involved with Black Lives Matter, and other initiatives from 2014 up till the present day, really surrounding the tragic shooting of Walter Scott and the murders at Mother Emanuel. And so over the past about 10 weeks, we were able to schedule or conduct 8 interviews with activists, and we are working on scheduling 20 more within people. So we are excited to have an event in a couple of weeks on 26. We will talk about more about this project, what we found, and how you can become more involved with that program. And so we hope to see you all there. And the registration information is available on the email from our newsletter and also on our website. So we'll be taking those interviews that we have conducted. We'll be doing transcripts of them, and then they will be available online get granted if any restrictions based on the interviewee's preferences. And so the option or the aim is to make them accessible for researchers going forward. The other grant we're able to receive is through Facebook, and this grant allows us to digitize photographs. If you are following us on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and on TikTok, you were able to see a few reels or a few videos depicting images from the Bogus collection, and we are excited that this grant allows us opportunity to highlight these images that have really been hidden in our collections. And so we are really excited about the engagement those images have had over the past 2 months, and we'll be sharing more of those images in the coming months. So if you're not on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, please get on, and you're really excited about the Look Down Memory Lane. And the other grant we've been working on is through the DPLA, which is also known as Digital Public Library of America. We've been digitizing collections relating to African-American women activism. And so we've been digitizing manuscripts and audiovisual materials through that grant. So we're busy digitizing and making items accessible to our stakeholders. And we look forward to talking to you more about those projects going forward. And I'll pass it over to my colleague, Darren Calhoun. Darren.
Good day. We're actually going to toss it over to Courtney real quick so we can talk about the outreach and public programming. But greetings, everyone. As you can see, I am actually inside of the Avery Research Center for African American History and Culture inside of our famous auditorium. I am here. And in a bit, I will talk about our facilities of public programming, but I would like Courtney to talk about our outreach that we're doing so far, particularly for January and February. And we look forward to coming over, everybody coming over and using us as a resource that we have. Courtney?
Okay, so I am running in between 3 monitors, so excuse me, because I did not know that Darren was going to call me out first. But it's great to virtually see everyone. As Darren mentioned, I'm Courtney Hicks, the Outreach and Public Programming Coordinator here at the Avery, and we have had a busy fall semester. One of the things that we wanted to make sure that we did was not only reach out to our community members, but also make sure that the campus that we serve, the students can recognize us as a safe space in the midst of the pandemic. So to kick off the semester, we had our Avery Family Reunion, which was a collaboration with all the multicultural and diverse orgs here on campus, such as OID, Multicultural Student Program Services, New Student Programs, also Student Activities, which does larger, more grandiose events for the complete College of Charleston campus, and was able to produce a very fun, interactive event where students can now connect a face with the name. So more often than not at the Avery with new students coming in, they mainly see the Avery as just a historical hub, kind of like a mecca of Blackness, but really don't know how to access us. So that event was able to showcase that we are here, we're normal, we enjoy having fun. We want to make sure that students can recognize that and also see the opportunities that we have through our internships, undergraduate, graduate, and also things such as our Student Leadership Award. So transitioning from our event that we had in person, Darren and I started working on our Mr. James E. Campbell Student Leadership Award, which is through our Race and Social Justice Initiative. Being that Mr. Campbell attended at HBCU here in the state of South Carolina, Voorhees, went before it was Voorhees College. And we want to broaden our scope and also support all students, not just students at the College of Charleston. We branched out to all the students at all the HBCUs in the state of South Carolina. So we created the Hbcu Tour in 2019, and we reinstated it this year since it was a little bit better before good old Omarion came back into our lives or entered our lives. So we were able to create the HBCU tour and visit all the campuses. Aside from South Carolina State, we did a virtual for them in Claflin, but we were able to connect with students, also let them know about our virtual options that they can use for research, such as the Low Country Digital Archives, and also ways they can connect with us in the future. We will be transitioning this program to look a little bit more different in the future, so students can have that hands-on connection rather than just learning about us through the Racial Disparities Report, but also be able to work and connect with us. So we do have, I believe, 4 winners that we will announce on Monday, 2 from the College of Charleston and 2 from 2 of the HBCUs in the state of South Carolina, and that's been really great. Aside from our in-person outreach that we have done, we have continued with our Avery Digital Classroom that each of you all are in, and also created a little bit more informal, short social media clips, as Aisha mentioned, to kind of connect our audience with the Avery, and also easily shared information that can once again make people know what the Avery does, see updates, because we have such talented team members who do such great hard work. So we want to make sure that we're not only highlighting the history, but also showing the different talents and gifts that each team member has. So that's pretty much the quick rundown of everything from the outreach and public programming side. If I missed anything, Darren, please interject, and excuse my background. I was supposed to be at the other computer, but I get my hair really together, as you can see for the products. So excuse my background, but it was great to virtually talk to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Courtney. First, I would like to say, give a shout out to, as I actually did with our graduate students, our undergraduate students. This is one of the strongest cohorts of undergraduates that we have had in a few years. We have Barnwell, Patricia Washington, and then our 2 graduating seniors. As you can see, if you've known any of the Avery students over the last 5 or 10 years, our students going to do great things. Our 2 graduating seniors that we have now are Anna Rucker as well as Adia Bennett. And we look forward to seeing what they do in the future, as well as them supporting the Avery within the future, as we have supported them over these last few years. And we look forward to seeing what they do. Also, there's other congratulations we had to put out. We haven't had a big program in a few months, but for the Liberty Hill community, I saw Hester McFadden on a call today. I want to give a congratulations and a thank you to the Liberty Hill community for their 150th anniversary. We need to support our communities, our Black communities within Charleston that we have, and give them support as much as we can. Liberty Hill, as well as other Black communities, settlement communities that we have had inside of Charleston, need every bit of support for every council or every state representative that we can give them. So everybody, let's give a congratulations to Liberty Hill. But then, as you can see, I am inside of the Avery right now. I am inside of our auditorium. And if you have been inside of our auditorium for a program anytime before December of last year of 2021, you would know that we had an 8-track, a VHS, and everything else within our control room. As of right now, we have a new $100,000 sound system, as well as hybrid capabilities to where we can do events, which would be virtual as well as in person inside of our auditorium. We could not have done this without people like you who are concerned about the Avery, who support the Avery. So those donations that you give, please keep giving them, because we were able to do such a major renovation that has not been done inside the Avery since 1998, 1999. We were able to do that with the donations that you give. So please keep donating to the Avery so we can keep doing the type of things that we're doing right now. In the coming month and a half, I look forward to welcoming people back into the Avery. Granted, it will not be the same as it used to be, where we will have 109 people inside of the McKinley Washington Auditorium. However, we will have hybrid events inside the Avery again. As long as it is safe. That's been our biggest push to the community. We will do events as long as we'll do in-person events as long as it is safe for our community. We serve such a vulnerable community, and we will make that, we take that into consideration when we try to put things on. So as long as it is safe, we will welcome people back into the building. Next month, I am looking forward to hosting three or four new exhibitions coming into the Avery, and we will have a soft opening. Our tours, as most of you would know, they were walk-in appointments. What we'll be doing in the future will be appointment only. You can make an appointment and come to the Avery. We'll walk you through, and we will take you through the history of Charleston and as well as the diaspora through an interpretive lens. So we will have a soft opening. We will have exhibitions that we are in the process of locking them down. I have meetings over the next week about what exhibitions are coming in, and I look forward to what we have coming up, including one exhibition from one of our graduating centers, seniors, Anna Rucker, which is going to be amazing. As of right now with our building, I think the last time we talked for the last state of the Avery, we were talking about the different termites and being in the building downtown Charleston. They are all gone. I'm here. So the termites are gone. The construction is finished. We have a little bit more work on our archival space, and we will be calling on community members to help us move those collections back into the archival space so we can open back up our building. We appreciate the patience of every community member. Everybody wants to be inside of this building. I want to be back into this building. And I'm grateful for everybody for allowing us, giving us the patience to get everything right so it can be safe for everyone in here and safe for the collections that people want to donate into the building. Again, the last thing I would like to talk about is the Race and Social Justice Initiative. The last time we had a State of the Avery was the first time the city of Charleston was voting on the ordinance for those race and conciliation ordinance for the city of Charleston. If you know what's happening right now, they're down the street from where I am right now voting on the same exact ordinance, and hopefully it goes through. With the Race and Social Justice Initiative, we'll continue to support social justice work that's happening within the city to make this a more equitable place. We have our Jim Campbell Scholars that we are reworking right now, but as Courtney mentioned, we have 4 amazing students from the College of Charleston, I believe Benedict and Allen, or just Benedict, who will be receiving awards on Monday, award nominations on Monday. We also have, with the Race and Social Justice Initiative starting very, very soon, the new disparity support that's coming up. Many of you remember we released in 2017 the State of Racial Disparities in Charleston County 2015. We're releasing an update to that because it is time. They had 5 to 7 years. It's time for us to see what is happening on those fronts of social justice. Just because a lot of the national media has pushed on to another subject does not mean that we have forgot about what was happening inside of Charleston County. So the new disparity report was underway, and that will be releasing very soon. So look out for the FOIA request. If you all need me, please call me. Everybody has my number. If you need my number, email me, and we can hop on the phone and talk. I'm very excited about the Avery and what we have coming up over the next few months and the next few years. It's been a long pandemic. Obviously it's nothing that we have ever experienced, but being inside of the College of Charleston, as well as being at a museum and a space for African-American history and culture, it's been very trying, but the leadership that we have here with our dean and with our executive director and then with the staff that we have here and then all of our students, the strongest students that we've had in a long time, it's been a lot, and I appreciate every single person that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Dr. Butler, and thank you. We appreciate every single person that we have on this call, and we look forward to having you back in this space. As you can see, we have a camera, I have a microphone, and you can hear me just well. So thank you all, Dr. Butler.
I almost hit the mute button on there, and I almost real close. But I want to say thank you all so much. Hopefully the updates give you some ideas about what we have going on, and knowing that though the doors are closed, semi-closed, right? So you can't just come on, walk in and help yourself, that we're still working, and we're still making progress and moving along. And so with that, I did want to make two semi announcements. So one of the things I want to share is, hopefully you've seen this graphic behind me in our newsletter. So it's an update of things that are coming down the pipeline for us. The one that is the closest um, is that we're going to have our team works really closely with, and you may have seen her uh, cameo appearance on the local news about the Black Ink Festival. It kicks off on Thursday. So Black Ink Festival, it's a African American book festival. Get to talk to writers, really get to think through and listen to and learn from some really dynamic writers. And so, if you don't already know this about her, Savannah Fryerson is a woman of many hats. And so, she is also the program chair for this year's festival, as well as a dynamic romance writer. And I say that with confidence because I know there are some Black women out there who are dedicated, diehard Danielle Steele fans, and they picked up one of her books, and they've been picking up her books ever since. And so, if I'm like, she's hanging out there with the big dogs. So I really do appreciate Savannah, and hope that you will take an opportunity, make some time to register for that event. I also wanted to share, I'm going to do a shameless plug. Anybody else who that I do this for, we're gonna charge a fee. But Motherland Essentials, the woman behind Motherland Essentials, Miss Andrea Davis, is on our call, and I'm so excited and really grateful. Last year or a couple years ago, we did a partnership and included some of her products in an event, and so she's hiring. So if you know a young, bright, shining star who wants to get their hands into retail. I would say that it's Bath and Body Works, but with a little bit more love and care. And I say that as a former Bath and Body Works employee. So if you're looking for a job, I encourage you to reach out to Motherland Essentials. With that said, I don't really have much to add. I would definitely say thank you. And make sure you keep your eye on the chat if you're on the Zoom. Erica Veal is really giving us all the links we need, which I appreciate. But we're always looking for partnerships. We're interested in developing new partnerships, really thinking about ways to bring attention to the fact that we are a collecting institution. So we have collections on collections on collections, including a backlog of collections. And so just recognizing that your donations will allow us to really get our staff, to get the collections moving, bring them to the forefront. If you're following us on social media, we're really trying to get up there with Black Archives Co. Like I think they got something going. I just realized that they're gonna have puzzles coming out in Target. So one day we're gonna put in the atmosphere that we're gonna have Avery Collections is puzzles in the Target coming to you soon. So so with that said, always interested in partnerships that bring attention to our collections, really helping our students. We were graciously awarded in the memory of Miss Karen Chambers. We received a $10,000 donation from friends and family, and we'd like to activate that to really support students around public history work. So just kind of knowing that we'd like to carry on. I don't think Miss Chambers ever had a chance to visit the Avery. They relocated to Charleston, and then she passed away. But we are so deeply grateful that her family and friends saw that Avery would be a great place for her memory to live on and her legacy to live on. And so just thinking about that in this time as we enter Black History Month, and even beyond that, just understanding that we support students in a variety of ways. We hire them, we try to connect them to folks, we really get them active and on the ground. And so with that said, I don't sit here and convince you all because you tuned in. So you know that Avery is dope. Just reminding folks that Avery is three things. One thing we are not ancestry.com. Please do not come down here trying to swab your cheek and find your great 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 grandmama. We don't do that here. But what we do is we keep families' histories really on Black Charleston. We are a museum, so at some point we will have our installations back up. We are a library. We have the one of the most phenomenal collections. I was writing an article and I needed a citation of an Audre Lorde quote that I could not find the book anywhere, and we had the edition in our stacks. So you're when our reading room is open, you can come in and just hang out with our books. They cannot go home with you. And then we are also a an archive, and which is one thing that I cannot stress enough is that we are one of the few, if not the only, in the area that's free, open to the public, with an emphasis on the diaspora, but specifically with Black Charleston, the Low Country in South Carolina. And I think that that's key because it's also a place of living history, which is really hard to come by. So you don't have to fly out, you don't have to get flued out halfway across the world to unpack. Instead, people have been coming to us. I get the joy of getting to hang out with some of our researchers. We've had researchers come as far as England, especially around the holidays and right after the holidays, who have been interested in our collections. Um, and so just understanding that people can come to Avery and find you, right? Find your family. They can really ask questions and tell a different kind of story that's not so much about loss and not so much about tragedy, but instead about triumph, about survival, survivance, to borrow from our indigenous um, scholars. But I think that's what's key. And to know that it's not only Black culture and history that lives here, but it's also being stewarded, that we are the stewards. You have Black interpreters, archivists, librarians, scholars. It's one of the most unique places I've ever had the opportunity to work. I enjoy going there because I think my team is dynamic. Um, Sometimes they make me a little nervous because I was just like, am I really supposed to be the like supervisor of these folks? Because they seem very talented and well equipped. And so I'm super fortunate to have each and every one of them. And that whenever you come in, I just want you, I can't emphasize this enough. If you ever come in, our team pulls archives. If when we had to do the renovations recently, people came in and lifted boxes and realized history is heavy. And we carry that literally every day. And so just to understand that when you come in, we don't charge you for those services, at least not yet. So just consider, donations that will help us keep them safe, that will help us expand our collections in space, because we're starting to grow out of our pants and grow out of our building, as people continue to realize that Avery is the best place, the safest place, and probably one of the most unique places to keep Black history, culture, materials. So I had a question, but it was really asking about our engagement, hopefully with Spoleto. That's if Deltacron doesn't transform into Megatron and take us out of here. If Spoleto carries on, we'll see if Avery will be able to be a partner with that in the Omar um, opera. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed. We're also keeping our fingers crossed for a really exciting thing that might happen in February. So everybody cross your toes, light a candle, cross your fingers, because hopefully February we'll get to do something small to see people face to face and show a little love. Hint, hint. Um, so that's it. Any questions? I welcome questions, comments, or concerns.
Not to interject,
Sure.
this is a question, it's something that I forgot to mention. As we finalize our February calendar, I know that a lot of people look to the Avery for their source of Blackness during Black History Month. We like to say here that February is the anniversary, but we do celebrate year round. So we do ask if you have a request for something to, number one, refer to our Avery. We celebrate year round. Black History program that was produced last year by Ayab Elohim and Sweetgrass Videography. It is on our YouTube page. So if you are an educator or you have a youth group or a team at your job and you want to do like a professional development day where you get to watch or view a film that is something that has a lot of different ties to Gullah Geechee culture that serves as a resource for you. If you would like to have an in-person visit or us create a program, please have a detailed proposal sent to us at latest on the 15th of this month. That way we'll be able to view it. We're able to see if this is something that we have the capacity to collaborate with. And also if we aren't, we can give you some other options that can help support you with that. So that is the only other thing that I forgot to mention, but we do look forward to having a great Black year, not just a great Black History Month.
I agree. Well, are all hearts and minds cleared? I'm just going to assume, I'm going to thank y'all for coming out on a Tuesday night. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with us. Keep following us on social media. If you don't know how to use your social medias, reach out to a neighbor or a friend. We're on all platforms, except OnlyFans, and we're going to keep it that way. And so you can find us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitters. Tune in. We've been toying a little bit with our webpage. I'm very excited about that. Thank you to Miss Aisha Heichel for that. And so all hearts and minds cleared. Nobody have any?
Dr. Butler, I think we just got
Oh,
the
okay.
very famous Savannah Fryerson on just now. So she wants to
Ooh.
Black Ink Book Festival request real quick. Savannah.
Hold on, Savannah. I'm trying to find you. Savannah.
Hi, this is Savannah Fryerson. I'm the office manager at Avery Research Center. I just left the Black Ink Book Festival planning meeting. We are very excited to be a host, or not a host, a sponsor. Avery Research Center is one of the primary hosts for the Black Ink, a Charleston African American Book Festival. And it will be virtual this year because of Omicron, Delta, Beta, Gamma, all of them. So in the spirit of keeping people safe, but also entertained and hopefully educated, we are going to be having it virtual, and we are featuring our wonderful archival team as a panel, talking about the importance of researching the African diaspora for your literature. So please, please, please register. It is free to register, free 99, y'all. Also, if you are an aspiring author or you are currently published but would like to be published squared and quadrupled, we are having the opportunity of you being able to pitch to editors and agents. I will say, because the theme of this year's festival is romance, most of them are romance editors and agents, but they also are accepting pitches from mainstream, for mystery, etc. So I am trying to find the information to put that stuff in the chat so one of the co-hosts can put it in the chat, since I was late, so apologies. But hopefully you are able to come and hang out with us. It'll be fun and wonderful. So I found it. But yes, thank y'all for attending and for listening to my little speech.
Thanks, Savannah.
Thank
All
you.
right. So one thing I did want to add, since we're talking about books, is that if you have not read, you actually have until the 20th to do so. Zora Neale Hurston's birthday month. Big shout out to the late great anthropologist, folklorist, writer Zora Neale Hurston. So we do. So if Miss Georgette Mayo was here today, she is on leave and enjoying her time away, and that she is one of the facilitators for the Dr. Consuela Francis Reading Circle. And so they're going to discuss hitting a straight lick with a crooked stick on on January 20th. So if you don't have the book, you still have time. You still got a smooth 9 days to get the book read and tune in. And even if you don't finish it, it's okay. But they meet monthly. Every month is a different book. So stay tuned for that as well. And because I am who I am, and we're talking about editors, we're talking about things. I didn't get to say it, and so I don't know. I know that Courtney wanted to talk about this at one point, so I'm just gonna do it, and use it as a shameless plug. I have a book out. Yay! So in October, I co-authored, I was able to publish a book through Teachers College Press. And so it's called Where's the Justice? And so it's Valerie Kinlock, who is the dean of the School of Education at Pitt, and also a Geechee girl. She is from downtown Charleston. And Emily Nemeth, associate professor at Denison. Grace Player, who is associate professor at University of Connecticut. I might have just given you tenure, Grace. So you're welcome. But so we co-authored and wrote the book. So I also wanted to share that it should be available through Teachers College Press. Hopefully we'll be having some conversations. But even if Avery doesn't have a digital classroom, you are more than welcome to give me a call, and I'll just, hang out with y'all there. So I just wanted to share that too. But this is not the Tamara Butler show. This is the Avery Research Center show. And so I just wanted to let y'all know that I too am an author. I just won't be at Black Ink. Not as in author form.
We will have a conversation. So look out.
It's in the works. It's just she's a busy woman, so we have to correlate our calendars.
Yeah, we gotta go through her people so we can get to our people.
Exactly.
But that's all that that's all. That's it. No questions, no comments, no concerns. We want you to be informed. You are always welcome to reach out to us. You can reach out to us through the Avery website, avery.cofc.edu. And there's a form on there you can fill out. And it'll be great if you had an idea or you wanted to follow up on something, reach out to us and we'll respond back to you at our earliest convenience. Tune into our social media for our calendar so you're always informed about what's going on. And then last but not least, tell a friend, let them know what we're doing. And when the doors reopen, bring a friend. Make sure they're wearing a mask though. I'm pretty sure we're not going to stop telling people to wear masks until the end of this year. That's just because we are who we are. We know how Black women also tell you to wear a hat when it's cold outside. We got that same mentality. Keep your mask on until this all goes over. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much to the team. Hoping to gain some new supporters. Hoping to connect with you all face to face one day so that I'm not just a talking head. And I thank you once again for your unyielding support. So thank y'all. Have a great night.